Today I fucked up by getting stupid high and going to Walmart. Some basic facts: I'm a married woman with 3 kids. I live in a medical and recreational state. I have a med card. So, I've been looking forward to today for a few days now. I had to drive to town today to sign my part of the taxes, an excellent excuse to enjoy some time away from the kids. And as we've just gotten our stimulus, I decided to make a day of it, go and get a bunch of things done and purchased that I'd been putting off, then pick up a few medical grade chocolate bar edibles, as yesterday my mill offered to take the kids overnight tonight. Wahoo! I left this morning a little after 10 AM. It takes about 30 minutes to get to town, we're rural. Got my errands done in the downtown area and, coming out of the final shop, turned and got to check out the shiny, new medical dispensary. Neat. And I got an extra lollipop with the chocolate bars. 10 milligrams. Ooh, fun. And then I ate it without thinking. I realize now this was not smart. I made a couple of quick stops, maybe 30 minutes, and was at Taco Bell eating by 1 PM. Then I went to Walmart, just a couple of minutes down the road. I noticed fairly quickly that it had been a while since I'd been inside Walmart. I had to really try to remember where the departments were. I wanted flashlights for the kids for when the power goes out. By the time I'd safari hunted down a Walmart mill employee and then found the flashlights, I was walking around the aisles in circles trying to find my way to the registers. At the registers, I was needing to slightly lean up against the self-checkout machines. But then, success. I made it back to the minivan. Oh sweet relief. Checked the packaging on the lollipop. 50 milligrams. So now, I'm stuck at the Walmart. The receipt says 2 PM. After taking time to explain my FU to my hubby and that I won't be home for a while, I realize it's taken more than 2 hours for me to write this post. I think I might be here for a while, which is a bummer. Luckily, I just happened to land the best possible location to be stranded, especially as a woman, in a very rural area. It's a 24-hour Walmart, so I've got bathrooms and supplies and can legally park in my car for as long as I need. I just happened to park in sight of a light and security cam. I'm in town, so there's delivery. I've still got some Taco Bell and Pepsi. I've got my charging cable, and the wireless is pretty good. So, I got that going for me, which is nice. Too long didn't read, ate an edible while running errands in town, thought it was 10 milligrams. It was 50. Happened to be shopping at Walmart when it kicked it. Now I'm stuck here. Edit, I was all bummed BC my lighter was dying, cigarettes, not more weed, and I was gonna have to lady up and go inside to get a new one. But, huzzah, I found an extra in my jacket pocket. Edit 2, I sobered up and made it back home safely. Thanks and good wishes to all who kept me company. Have a good evening all. At least you found your car. Enjoy. Ha, I will, Walmart, as crazy as it is, has a cool policy on the lot. 12 years ago, I was kicking dope and had nowhere to stay but my car. I slept in a Walmart parking lot for a few days and no one ever bothered me except a guy in an RV who offered me water and a couch to sleep on for a night. Been clean since. Congrats, as far as mistakes go that's a pretty fun one. Also, as others have pointed out, props on realizing you shouldn't be driving. Probably a good time to test out how far your seats recline and get comfy XD. My thoughts exactly. I've nowhere to be, no kids to care for, and no other obligations ATM. Was planning on dicking off the rest of the day anyway. Just thought I was gonna do it at home, not trip balls in the Walmart parking lot. Ha 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 well. Have a nice wait up. Hope you didn't buy anything frozen. I'll lose my feta cheese. Frown. At least you realize you're too impaired to drive. I'd rather see this post today than see it today I fucked up by passing out while driving and killing 3 people, post tomorrow. Today I fucked up by confiscating my son's Gameboy and hiding it. For 18 years, my son was not doing his homework, so I confiscated his GBA. I told him he would get it back next week. Well, he's a pretty clever dude and knew all my hiding places, so I put it someplace he would never look. Except I suffered a TBI a few years earlier and I forget stuff. So when he did his homework and asked for it back after a week, I could not find it. Ugh. I looked everywhere. Narrator, obviously not everywhere. Then we moved house and I still didn't find it. SpongeBob. 18 years later, I was donating some coats I had not worn in a long time, and in the pocket of a Viennese trench coat from the 1930s, I found his Game Boy Advance, and turned it on, and it worked. Pokemon appeared. I put fresh batteries into it and handed it to my 28-year-old son, who proceeded to laugh for a good 5 minutes, then played it for a few hours, then proceeded to tell my wife and other adult children how silly I was. TL/Doctor, hid kid's Game Boy, forgot where. Found it almost 20 years later. Family has further proof that I'm an idiot. Dad, is that you? Question mark. Jokes aside, my parents also hid my Game Boy Color all the time because I would secretly play under my bed covers when I should be sleeping. They kept hiding it, but I kept finding it. I don't remember how old I was, but I was probably around 10 to 12. I'm 30 now, and to this day I honestly don't remember what happened to it, and my parents also don't remember what happened to it. My theory was that it was hid really well for a long duration and eventually everyone just forgot, maybe went on vacation or something. I really do miss it, though it was my childhood. I bet he did all his homework in those 18 years. No, I bought him a replacement and a micro GBA that he lost, and I found it a number of years later too. Is it just me, or does the Game Boy exist in a different echelon to other toys/entertainment devices? I see stories like this from time to time where a Game Boy is lost to the ether for decades, gets found, still works, and everything about life is better. Never see a story like this about a Game Gear or anything else. I can't believe the GBA is 18 years old. Ha ha ha, I had a good laugh at this. Thanks. Just what I needed this evening. Today I fucked up by buying a plant for my roommate. This is a fuck up that started 2 years ago and I finally figured out this week. A couple of years ago, I got a promotion at work. It came with a nice $500 bonus, which was a huge amount for a poor college student like me. I decided to use that money to spruce up my living situation and make my apartment look a little nicer. My roommate, who's a big plant guy, begged me to get a hibiscus tree. Anyone familiar with gardening can tell you that hibiscus is a ridiculously picky plant, and definitely not suited to our Midwestern climate. They're really pretty though, so I agreed to buy it, on the condition that he takes care of it 100% and keeps it from dying. He swears up and down he'll take care of it, so I gave him the money and he picked out a tree. The rest of the money quickly gets used up within the week. Everything is great, until I start breaking out in hives every day. Based on the hive patterns and the allergy tests I've had, it's most likely bedbugs. One of the things I bought was a cute dragon plushie from Etsy, which was probably the culprit. Plushie and all of my bedding go straight in the trash. Roommate and I scrounge up $200 to some exar bomb our apartment. We do everything we can to get rid of the damn things as quickly as possible. A few months go by, and I'm still getting some hives every day. Weird thing is though, it's staying consistent. Best I can figure is that we got most of the bugs, and the few we missed are the same gender and can't breed. Thankfully the neighbors haven't reported any infestations. I decide the best course of action is to just accept the hives and wait for them to die. I can't afford to replace all of the bedding I threw out, so I end up using a couple of towels for a pillow and blanket. They're easier to throw in the wash every day anyways. Literally everything I own is coated in some exar. COVID happens, and I'm stuck working from home. Mentally I'm a mess, knowing I'm basically trapped with these things 24/7. Eventually I lose track of time since every day is the same. But then it hits me, I've been dealing with hives for almost 2 years now, and bed bugs don't live that long. I gave in and paid for an inspector, but he didn't find anything. Now I'm getting really worried. So this week, My roommate decided to spend the weekend with his girlfriend. Since he wouldn't be home, he called to ask me to water and prune his plants. No problem. Give all of them some water and nutrient sticks, and everything seems fine. But when I reached in to prune a dead leaf in the middle of the hibiscus tree, I pulled my arm out and it was covered in hives. I'm freaking out, my body's freaking out, and the hives are growing exponentially bigger in a matter of seconds. I called my roommate back and asked him to come home in case it got bad enough to warrant an ER visit. My dumbass sat around for 2 years doing nothing about constant hives. I never touched the tree, so I figured it wasn't an issue. In reality, my roommate had been taking care of it and tracking residue everywhere. He also does our laundry, which is probably I ended up with so many hives under my clothes. Too long didn't read. I'm an idiot. A stressed, itchy idiot. This reminds me of a story of my friend. She thought she was allergic to her dog because every time she is home, she has constant allergic reaction, and when she's out, she is totally fine. She has to take on wall medicine because she loves her dog so much. For 5 years, until one day, the AC unit gave up and they decided to replace the whole system. When they cut the pipe opened, it was filled with mold. Imagine the Alien movie where you came across some weird yellow mushy mold. Yep. After a long day of cleaning and fixing, she sat down and was like, "Oh, I forgot to take my medicine. Wait, why can I breathe normally?" It was the mold, lol. She has been blaming the poor doggy for the allergic reaction while it was the mold. This is a perfect example of correlation doesn't mean causation. I get hives on and off throughout the year. It's pretty much been my entire adult life. Makes me wonder what I might be allergic to. I've changed soaps, detergent, clothes, bedding, moved to different places with different water, and still haven't gotten to the bottom of it, lol. Sorry for all the stress this has caused you, my friend. Edit, I wish I had a roommate to do my laundry, haha. If it doesn't seem to follow any sort of pattern, it could be mold/mildew or a couple different types of pollen. I got mold/mildew/pollen respiratory allergies, and they happen at random times based on rain, time of year and dozens of other factors that are impossible to keep track of. That absolutely sucks. I did something similar but on a smaller scale. I thought grass was always shitty sharp little blades of evil that turned everything red, and didn't understand why people described it as soft and comfy. To adulthood, and I figured out you can be allergic. I just feel bad for the dragon plushie. My dude, your F-up was partly throwing everything away thinking it was bed bugs. They can't survive the heat of a long dryer cycle/hair dryer, then a zip-up mattress cover is enough to starve them out. Reoccurrences are typically caused by eggs if you get rid of the adults and nymphs. Just in case that actually happens.